G'day. How the fuck are ya? Hope you're having a shit one. Over 1,000 emails I got of some of your pictures that today. Oh, I actually haven't got enough sleep. If you clicked on this video, you know what the video is. Let's edit some pictures. I was gonna say photos and then pictures, and I think I said features, but whatever. Let's edit some features. Some bitches. Okay. I'm not drunk, I swear. It probably sounds like I'm drunk. Okay, so I have these two photos here from my friend Katie. She's obviously gone up somewhere to like the foggy mountains, hills, or whatever. So straight off the bat, I'm gonna bring the exposure down quite a bit, probably by a full stop. I'm gonna increase my contrast a little bit. Actually, you know what? No, I'm gonna take some out because we're gonna fuck with the tone curve a bit. I'm gonna bring some highlights down. I'm gonna bring my shadows out just so we can see what we're working with. Let's leave all this. I'm gonna come to the tone curve here. I'm going to bring this up a little bit and I'm gonna bring it across. Right about to where this mountain starts. I think I need to sneeze. I actually fucking love sneezing. It's actually such a good feeling. Okay, and then I'm also gonna put a little dot here in the middle of the tone curve and one up here as well. And I'm gonna bring this part up. Actually, I'm gonna bring both parts up. I'm gonna bring the mid-tones up because we've darkened it a little bit. And I'm gonna bring this up a little bit as well. And then I'm gonna put a fourth point. Actually, I might bring this down a little bit. I'm gonna bring a fourth point here and I'm just gonna darken it like between the mid-tones and the shadows. I'm gonna darken it a little bit. And then I'm gonna come into the split toning because we're gonna try and do this dark greeny bluey edit, which will mean bringing a little bit of greens like that. And maybe 5% for the highlights, a little bit of bluey. I'm gonna try something really quickly. I think a yellow line on the road just looks really good. So let's just try and artificially do that by literally, I got the brush tool. I've just painted a little bit here. You can see when I press O. We'll click on auto mask. So hopefully Lightroom will understand what I'm actually trying to do here. Okay, it can just be a little bit rough. And then I'm gonna bring some saturation out. And I'm actually just gonna go over to the color selector and just pick like an orangey yellow. And let's just go over all the lines. Okay, it's not perfect because it's not my image and I actually don't give a fuck, but to be completely honest, but if it was my image, I'd probably spend more time on it. But I think that is a great contrast. Just having the yellow line there just helps a lot. Okay, first off, I do like the angle, but let's see if we can actually straighten her up. Ooh, will this work? Ooh, I think this will work. So I think I actually have a preset that'll work really well for this. Pretty much in one click. I might need to do a little bit of adjusting, but this preset here, Storm, this is where selective adjustments come in really handy. I want to bring the highlights up for the bottom part of the image here. Let's just say like for this part down, I want the highlights to come up for like that part, right? But then it overexposes the sky, right? So you can bring in a graduator filter, this rectangle here, and just draw a little one over this and bring the highlights back down. Amazing, and bring some saturation into it probably. This is a mean image. This is an amazing photo. I'm going to straighten the image up straight away. And look, I actually really like the framing of this image because I like how there's a duck here. It's a little ducky swimming around and there's someone standing here as well. I do really like the framing. I personally would have told my mate if they already walked out all this way, I probably would have got them to stand here. And then shot it maybe with like an 85mm so they were in line with the mountain in the middle here. Do you know what I mean? But it's still a great image at the end of the day. Let's bring some exposure up. I'll bring some highlights down, shadows up. I think I'm gonna bring a graduator filter from the sky here and I'm gonna darken that a little bit. Something like that with the tone curve. I think I can bring the exposure down now. And before we bring the highlights down a little bit more. What does this look like as a landscape? I think this should have really been a landscape shot. What do you think? I think it's better as a landscape personally. I could see that as a print, honestly. Okay, you can see here that the sensor was a little bit dirty. So you can actually come over to Q, which is your clone and heal tool in Lightroom, and just boop, get rid of it. Another one over here. Boop. And you just go around and you can get rid of the duck if you don't want the duck. See you later. But I like the ducky there. This kind of reminds me of Your Name, that anime movie. I know Lamont did like a hectic Your Name edit. I think it's the sky that's kind of reminding me of that. And I don't know, this actually looks very Japanese to me. Maybe this was shot in Japan. I don't know. But if that's the case, we should bring a bit more purples. I think like a slight hint of lavender. I think these nature photos don't really need like a hectic edit. That's a really beautiful photo, Jack. Well done. Okay, this is a bit of unknown territory for me because I feel like I'm pretty shite at portraiture photography and editing. So if you do portrait photography and you're watching this, I'm sorry. But I think what needs to happen here is some tones. First of all, let's just put four points in the tone curve like this, okay? I usually bring the highlights up and a little bit on the midtones as well, and I bring the shadows down a little bit like this. Maybe a little bit of fade here. Maybe too much shadows there. Maybe a bit more highlights and highlights down a little bit because this left side here is very overexposed. But I like the beanie, and I'm pretty sure she's got blue eyes there, bluey greeny eyes. Very beautiful eyes. I think I'm gonna try and I don't know how to edit eyes, but I think just a brush tool, I guess, over and just exposure up to 5. No, I'm kidding. We're not gonna do that. Oh my god! That's fucking scary as. Okay, no, just a little bit up. I think like this photo really didn't need much editing. Maybe it could bring a bit more saturation like out of her skin and hair. And maybe we can try and darken the background a bit more. Maybe that'll help set it aside, I think. Okay. I don't really know what the fuck I'm doing with this image. But it's a great photo. I think that's it. Like, it was already really well exposed. Do you know what I mean? So like, the image was just shot really well. The focus is fucking perfect. And like the composition, the way that it's shot, like it's just, I think it's just a very, like overall, it's just a very well done. I think it's a very well composed picture, which makes editing really easy. Like you just saw, like I didn't really do anything to the image. Like I guess because I edit a lot of night images. So I think my editing has to be sort of a long process sometimes for night photography. That's why I develop presets for it. But for portrait photography, obviously I could probably go way more in depth with it. There's probably dodge and burning stuff like you could probably do under the eyes and stuff like this. But I don't know how to fucking do any of that. And I don't want to ruin this image. So we're just not going to go in that territory today. It's a good attempt at a panning shot. Sort of just got the focus here on the windscreen and the windscreen wiper. But it's still cool. I like this effect though. But straight up, we're going to crop it in a little bit more. Something like that. And we're going to bring the exposure up here. We're going to drop the tint. We're going to drop the white balance temperature. I'm going to bring a graduated filter from the bottom here. I'm going to bring the darkness down on the ground here, so our eyes are a bit more directed to the bus or what you tried to focus on, I guess. It doesn't matter if you miss the focus, it's still like a cool style of image. So we just want to make like a really hectic edit. And we're also going to get rid of the purples because I can see a lot of purples lingering around here on the windscreen, up here and stuff. And let's just make them blue. So let's bring the purples across the blues, and we can bring some luminance up so it blends a bit better as well. I'm going to increase the saturation of the oranges here and the luminance up. I'm just going to go through the colors basically. I'm just going to play with each one of the colors here and just see what it does. Okay, and a lot of blue here. So let's bring some luminance up, and I'm going to bring it across a little bit. Just a tiny bit, like -9%. And now to bring the tones, bit of oomph. Whatever that means. 4 dots, remember? Or it's like 5, technically. I never actually really noticed this dot up here. I don't really use it. No one really actually uses this one. Let's bring the top up here, the mid-tones up a little bit, and I'm gonna crush the shadows a little bit and bring up a little bit of fade. Okay, probably bring the temperature down a tiny bit more. Bring another graduated filter from the top of the image. I'm gonna bring the exposure up. Is this Hong Kong? I feel like this is very Hong Kong. And I'm gonna bring some saturation into it. And we're also gonna bring some highlights down because now that we've, actually I think I like doing that better with editing. I think from now on, I'm gonna start using the tone curve first before I go into the basic editing. Because I find like with the tones, you get the oomph, sort of a bit of like a boost for your image, you know, sort of makes it pop a little bit more. And then I feel like I can just manually refine it a little bit more with the highlights here. So there's some highlights in the top of the bus here, so I'm gonna bring that down a little bit, and I'm gonna bring a bit of shadows up because doing that made the image quite dark. So I'm gonna bring the shadows up a little bit here. Bit of clarity, yeah, maybe a bit more vibrance in the image here. There you go. Before, after. Fucking sick, mate. Wow, that fucking quality is terrible. That quality is shocking. Alright, let's just chuck a preset on and be done with it then. Oh, that is terrible quality. But look, dull blue and a bit more oranges here. Bit of vibrance, never hurt anyone. I can't even look at this anymore. It's fucking shit. The photo is great. And I would love to edit this image, but like I can literally count how many pixels are in this image. So let's just bring a little graduated filter through the center here. The pixels won't even blend together. Like it won't even blend the orange to the blue up there. This is a sick location. I'm pretty sure that's Brighton. I've brought like a fair few cars to this spot. Such a nice photo. And such a good spot as well. Like in the morning it's great and in the evening it's great as well. It's just like an overall really good spot for photography. So let's come here. I've literally got a preset for cars at sunset and it's called sunset. The blues have changed a little bit for the car, so I'm just gonna bring those back over. If you press Y, you can see the before and after. It just splits the image in half and you can just select here like how you wanna look at that image. So for me, I like a left to right. Oh, like that, like this. Like a left to right split. Yeah, that's fucking close enough. Okay, graduated filter from the ground, bit of clarity, and one from the sky as well. Let's see if we can bring back some of those highlights in the sky. Highlights down. And I'm gonna take some clarity out. And you can even bring one more graduated filter at the top here, and we can darken these clouds as well, just to bring more of a center focus on the car here. Very nice. Now this image is my kind of image. This is definitely my kind of image that I like to edit. I'm gonna take a toilet break and then I'll get into editing this photo. Roasted fava beans. Actual best snack ever. Oh, by the way, just before I get back into it, Liam and I have set up a Discord. So if you want to join the Discord chat, it's like basically just a massive group chat of photographers, like-minded people. Sometimes I speak in it when I got a spare minute. And Liam's pretty active in it as well. And there's weekly photography challenges in there too. So I'm gonna link a leave. Oh my god, I'm so bad. I'm so bad at plugging shit. I'm gonna leave a link in the description if you want to join the Discord chat. Thank fuck that's done. Wait till I plug the presets at the end of this video. I'm fucking on point with the preset plug. Just watch. I won't fuck it up. I'll do it first try. You know what? Okay, let me try something. You know this image? I like the style of what we've done here with this edit. Okay, it's a night edit, right? I'm gonna see if we can try and transfer this edit to this photo. So what we do is select both the images here. We hit Command Shift S or Control Shift S if you're on Windows. And we're pretty much just I'm not gonna have local adjustments ticked because we're gonna do those manually. But everything else here, just about pretty much everything ticked here, we will synchronize and see what happens with the edit. Okay, it's very blue. Obviously, this looks shocking. But with a temperature adjustment, we've made the image a lot better. And I haven't done anything. The only thing I've done to this image yet is crop it and just change the temperature. But now that we've done this, I see that there's a lot of shadows here, you know what I mean? So I think we're gonna bring some shadows out of the image here. And then you can pretty much just adjust accordingly once you've synchronized your settings. You can have a play around with it. It's not gonna work every single time, but it can definitely speed up your editing process and also help you sometimes give a new sort of look to your image, you know what I mean? Like if you synchronized a bunch of images and then played from it from there, you might be surprised what you learn. Okay, this is a new one I'm working on. Cyberpunk. I would have been chasing this guy down straight up. Umbrellas with people wearing coats, holding a briefcase with an umbrella. Like, that's just like a classic street photo to take. I'd be running after him and then I'd be getting really low to the ground to take advantage of those reflections on the ground. But I still like the aesthetic of this image still. I think I'm gonna crop it in a little bit like that. I'm gonna bring a graduated filter across the ground here. I'm gonna bring the temperature down and the highlights down a little bit. And I'm also gonna bring one from the top and bring the exposure up a bit, some of the clarity out. And I'm gonna bring my temperature up about +20. Let's try something like that. Probably do a bit more clarity in. You know, let's go over all these little lights here, I think. I'm gonna bring my feather radius up a fuckload. Let's just make these lights sort of glow a bit more. They're already pretty glowy, to be honest, but maybe you could use a little bit more. Clarity out, exposure up, bit of an orange tint in the lights here, and that's done. There's before, there's after. That was a good way to pass time, honestly. Like, I've been super bored in lockdown here at the moment, and I've actually been wanting to go for a run and then bring my camera along, because I am allowed to go out within a 5-kilometer radius of my house. So maybe I could try and do some like suburban street photography, like suburb photography. I'll see what I can get up to, but I'm gonna wait for it to rain before I do that. So as you saw in this video, ready for this plug, a lot of the photos were edited with my Lightroom presets. If you want to download my Lightroom presets, you can click the link in my description, or you can head over to streamline.store. They come in a pack of 25. Oh no, I was getting cocky, but I haven't fucked up yet. I haven't said a word wrong. They come in a pack of 25 with 25 Lightroom presets. No, it's tutorials. Fuck, I fucked it up. I literally talked myself up, and then you were watching me, and then I got really full of myself, and then I got anxious, and I was like, oh no, I'm gonna fuck it up. Whatever. Yep, link to my description, or head over to streamline.store. I'm fucking disappointed with myself. I should not have fucked that up. Thank you for sending your photos in. There were so many amazing photos. I wish I could sit here all day and edit every single one of them, but also fuck doing that. I'm not a machine. If you did like this video, leave a like down below. Help me out by hitting subscribe. With that all said and done, have a shit one, and I'll see you in the next video. Bit of an edgy meme, but when a Jewish kid is born,